You're listening to Achtung Grassroots.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome from St Paul's in Rotherhithe, dear listeners. Another beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon. I'm here for an unusual fixture. We only deal in the unusual on Achtung Millwall, don't we? Achtung Grassroots. I suppose it's strictly a grassroots show, but I'm going to mix it with a little bit of Millwall talk during the course of the afternoon. But we're watching, or about to watch, International Surrey, club managed by a good friend of the show, Matt Nash, representing the county of Surrey. Unusual concept. This is a friendly fixture. They only play friendlies. It's right old school. International Surrey. They're playing a friendly fixture against London Benfica. Resplendent in their red and white, the famous colours of Benfica, of course. International Surrey, who play at various locations within the historic boundaries, the Anglo-Saxon boundaries of Surrey. If you don't love that concept, then you've got no soul, you've got no heartbeat going inside your listeners. So anyway, this is, of course, within the boundaries of the historic county of Surrey. Once upon a time, part of the Surrey Docks area, St Paul's off of Salter Road. And so as part of their kind of roving commission, they play at various spots around the more leafy parts of Surrey, Dorking, I saw, Whiteleaf. But today here in Rotherhithe, which is leafy, I mean, you know, I'm joking like it's still in the industrial past. It's a very green, very pleasant area now. And this is a very pleasant little setup. St Paul's is a nice ground. I came here for Fisher versus, oh gosh, I can't remember. It was an FA Cup game at the start of the season, and I've enjoyed it. It's a nice little ground, obviously used by the Mill Lionesses as well as Fisher. Who are International Surrey is going to be your first question if you're listening to this show, dear listeners, and I don't blame you for that question. So I've gone on to their website, ISF, International Surrey Football Club. It's an organisation, they say, seeking to provide predominantly non-league players with the opportunity to represent their county at a senior level internationally, and to provide a platform that they can use to compete against players outside their typical league opposition. What that means is they play a lot of fixtures, International Surrey, against the various international representative sides, often for groups, places or peoples who are not within the FIFA umbrella. So, for example, they've had fixtures against a Bangladesh side, representative sides against London Japanese. This is London Benfica, we're going to play this afternoon, but I've seen them playing the Chagos Islands, which are an area of the Indian Ocean, I believe, that's been mistreated. Do have a look at their plight. They were moved around by the British and the Americans for defence purposes. So places like that don't fall under the FIFA umbrella play within what's called an organisation called CONIFA, which is like an alternative set of football associations. Some of them are quite wacky. You've got Cornwall playing there, you've got Surrey playing there, the Republic of Surrey. You've got the Yorkshire and regions of the USA that see themselves as being markedly different in identity to the rest of their countries. So you do get a bit of a wacky sense to it, and you do get a fairly serious sense. I did speak to Matt in a previous show. I'll do a link to that edition, and you can have a listen to hear from the horse's mouth what the Surrey are all about. They play at various spots around southwest London, the county of Surrey, and today, wonderfully, in Fisher's ground in Rotherhithe. Hence I'm here. I said I'd come along for this show when I caught up with Matt the other week, and I'm glad I did. It's a beautiful afternoon for the football, dear listeners. Their opponents, London Benfica, or strictly speaking, I don't speak Portuguese, so I apologise to any Portuguese listeners. Sport e Benfica London. Sport London e Benfica. As you can tell, my Portuguese is non-existent. They're a Sunday side playing in various West London setups. I think they're based in Feltham at the moment. They've won various Hayes and District Sunday leagues. They've played for the Middlesex County Football League. Fairly serious outfit. I think they take their representation of Benfica, giant of the game, of course, Portuguese giants. But they are affiliated to the Portuguese side, and it's going to be an interesting fixture. I'm just waiting for the two teams to come on to the sun-kissed, almost Portuguese level of sunshine onto the pitch today. So both sides out, listeners. Surrey resplendent in yellow and blue club colours. I did buy a badge that used up all my cash. I had to pay for a bottle of water with my card. That's what you don't use cash anymore, dear listeners, do you? Surrey in yellow and blue. Benfica in red and white. Traditional Benfica colours. Now, we're not going to follow the whole game. We're going to dip in and out as the fancy takes me. We're after any major incidents. Don't know any of the players. Haven't seen any of the social media yet. But we'll follow the game and I'll give you a report back very shortly. So, just waiting for kick-off at the moment. Benfica to kick us off, attacking the tree-lined end. There's a I think it's called a pond end, which is the end that Surrey are defending. So, as I say, we'll check in at various points during the course of the half. Away we go. 10 minutes in, dear listeners. It was a good standard of football. Both sides trying to get the ball forwards. Probably Benfica, I would say, have had the better of the early start. A couple of shots on the Surrey goal, both wide of the mark. But Surrey just made a move forward themselves. So it's entertaining stuff in a beautiful location. I don't know if you've ever been to Fisher's Ground. It's well worth coming over if you're in the area. Especially on a summer's day. I thought about coming down one day during the winter when it was freezing cold. Maybe that mightn't be so enticing, but the view is absolutely fantastic. I've come down to the what I call the tree line. I think it's the Rotherhithe end of the ground. Looking back along the stretch of the ground, I'm looking at Canary Wharf. Its towers, the towers of London, towering off in the distance. HSBC, Citibank, red and blue, I don't know what one that is. But some fantastic buildings, wonderful view, and of course the Canary Wharf Tower itself. Beautiful hot day. Are you missing the football, dear listeners? I think I am. That's why I've come out today. I said I'd come down here to see Matt, give him a bit of support for his eccentric venture of international Surrey. I do admire eccentricity in this life, dear listeners. There's a corner at the moment. We'll stay with the game whilst this corner runs through. So yeah, when he said he had a fixture when we caught up with him for the Women's FA Cup final the other day, I couldn't resist it, in all honesty. I think also, I don't know about you, but 3 weeks into the summertime, it's already seeming like a long time. It's actually not that long till the publication of the fixtures, 2 or 3 weeks' time. I think it's the 21st or 22nd, can't remember which day, when we find out our opponents in the League One. There's a head. Oh, it cleared off the line there from a towering header from the Benfica central defender at the Surrey end. Yeah, strong looking championship next season. Some of the teams coming down. Leeds, obviously, from Premier League, Leicester City, Southampton. And then coming up, we've got the likes of Sheffield Wednesday, who pulled off that remarkable playoff series of wins at Wembley, especially recently. Plus Ipswich and Plymouth, both of whom will be looking to cement their position. Ipswich are a team that will think themselves as rightful, certainly second tier, arguably even top tier, if going by history anyway. I can't wait. I don't know about you. I know that it was a bit of a crushing end to give it all up on the last day, like we did. But that's Millwall for you, isn't it? You know, if it was Gloria after, you're probably following the wrong side, dear listeners. Anyway, enough waffle. Beautiful afternoon. 13 minutes in, it's 0-0. It's a bright game of football so far. I'm going to have a wander around and see if I can get a word with Matt.
Come on, Mark, turn and go. Well done, good feet. Eamon, too late.
I'm interrupting Matt mid-match. It's like we're on Sky TV and we've just walked into the managerial dugout here to get a few words. Nice day, nice situation, Matt. It's lovely.
Yeah, I think we seem to have come on the hottest day of the year, Nick, don't we, to Fisher, really? And there's not a lot of shade at Fisher, is there?
It's an enjoyable game, Matt. The standard's pretty good. Both sides.
Yeah, I think Benfica have been promoted in their organisation this summer, and our guys are slowly coming together as a team. We've got a few new guys out there again today, but it is a good standard of football. You know, these guys are all sort of very competent on the ball.
Yeah.
They like to play football the proper way.
That's noticeable. Since I've come into the stadium, I've noticed it's been knocked around nicely.
That's it. We try and keep it on the floor, you know, unless a team is pressing us incredibly high up, which this have done a couple of times early on. Then we tend to try and play out. But as we know from the den, sometimes you just want a big hoof, don't you?
You can get the boy out of Millwall, dear listeners. You can never get out of the boy.
One of our first punters this afternoon, as he came through the gate, before most of the players were here, said, "This isn't Surrey, is it?" I said, "I beg to differ. I think."
Have a look at the Anglo-Saxon map.
Absolutely.
Refer him to my work on the matter.
Absolutely.
Nice work by the 7 there. This is Surrey.
Nice. Help him out. Give him options.
16 minutes in. This is Surrey on the attack. That's going to go for a goal kick. Yeah, bright style, attractive football. What's not to like, dear listeners? So most of your boys would be non-league players for various clubs, I take it, kind of Ishmian, would you go that far up? Or?
Yeah, so the guy on the ball now, number 7, Eamon Dardu, has played Tooting and Mitcham United this season.
Yep. Nice move down the wing by the 2.
Feel the box! Great ball, Jaden.
He's always drops it, he's spilled it.
Lovely, Jaden, brilliant.
Close range chance there for Surrey. Just wide.
Yeah, so we have got Giovanni War at the back. He's Abbey Rangers.
Yep.
Daniel Igwe, Metro Gas, I think.
Okay.
Marcus here, Metro Gas. So some of these lads might be more local to
Local
you.
size, yeah, Metro Gas, absolutely.
Go on, Danny. Danny.
A couple of moments, really.
Just hesitated, didn't he?
As a manager, you'd be disappointed not to be a couple ahead here, mate.
Yeah, these are the ones you hope don't come back to bite you later, aren't they? Just want your player to pull the trigger there. But young Danny there, who had the shot, number 8, Daniel Iqbal, has been at Ashford Town Middlesex this season. Right. As has Jaden Edwards, the right back. That's Bruno's brother, Ricardo. Okay. There.
Bruno Fernandez's brother, Ricardo.
Who was yesterday, obviously, in the cup final.
That's right, he was.
Number 3 is Joki Amici, who is a professional boxer out of Catford. So there we go.
Okay.
That's a bit different, isn't it?
Okay.
Super bantamweight, unbeaten professional boxer, 2 wins. Go on, Marcus, and again. He's fighting June 24th at the York Hall in Bethnal Green, if anyone fancies coming down to that. But yeah, we've got Ricardo Fernandez on the bench, who is brother of Bruno. Yeah. And also very good player. This is a real test for us. You saw we beat Bangladesh 9-0 last week.
Yeah.
Could have probably doubled that, but this is a completely different test.
That was an ambitious shot from distance, and it wasn't far away either.
That was a long-range free kick, wasn't it?
Benfica 6. Do you do any? Does Surrey play any competitive fixtures, Mal? I mean, obviously it's a friendly end of season. Is it building towards anything in a league or cups? I presume cups more than leagues.
Well, there's every chance that this might be our last. These might be our last games for a while, Nick,
right.
And possibly even till next year, because quite soon, although it seems crazy, but in a couple of weeks, some of these boys will be starting pre-season with their clubs again.
Just saying the same thing. You know, it seems like forever the summertime, but it's not. It's a few weeks, and we're talking July. It's time to get going again. Isn't it?
Time to get going again, and I think there is a team in London for the first time ever, Estudiantes, who are playing all the way through. They're playing friendlies all from the end of that season to the new season.
Wow.
So that is a first.
So they don't switch off, basically.
Wow. They've got something like a dozen friendlies lined up, I've read. So fair play to them. Maybe that's the way the game's going, because even in non-league, these guys want to be playing all the time, which is sort of where we come in. This is almost pre-season.
Yeah, that's fitness-wise. I mean, burnout is what they talk about at the top level. I know this is, it's a light level and that, but that's not to be disrespectful. But I'd have thought playing all year round, it would give you a bit of a, I don't know. You're never not on football, are you?
This is true. The funny thing is, we talk about it all the time when we're playing in games. Are we doing too many?
Yeah.
But actually, a lot of these guys, most of these guys. That's all right. Up you get. Well done. Sorry.
That's all right. No, that's all right. Manager of the football team, not a guest from a moderate podcast.
No, absolutely. The favourite Millwall podcast of all. So basically, we're building towards the point where we can do something more substantial.
Right.
Which is either hosting a 4-team tournament in Surrey.
Right.
Or travelling for away games and more international friendlies.
Right.
Where we can actually boost the standard of opposition we're playing.
Yep.
We've got an invite to go to Jersey at some point, play them. Oh,
shot inches wide there. We're 32 minutes into the half.
The beans on toast, in fact, Nick. There.
Yeah. Unlucky.
So
knock the goal out of its whatever it's in. It's mooring.
Yeah. Well done, Eamon. Next time. So hopefully next year we're going to be in a position where we can at least play an away game somewhere like Hampshire, who I think play at Havant and Waterlooville, so that's a good option. If we can, we want to make that leap to go somewhere like Jersey, but we have to have a fully committed, settled side for that. And when we make that leap, we know it's going to be costly, so we really do need to time when we're going to do that. It's like Millwall trying to time when they want to make the push for promotion and playoffs and invest more money in players. You know? Like for us, it's when do we get on that plane to Jersey? Well, when we feel completely comfortable.
Also having player availability, I suppose. I mean, all these will be guys that are making a living, you know. It's just whether they can commit that amount of time to something.
Absolutely, this is the thing.
And so, resources to do it as well. It's not going to come easy, is it?
I think some kind of World Unity Football Alliance tournament, and that's the umbrella organisation we're part of.
Yeah.
That's more likely as a sort of next step, if you like, and perhaps playing teams like Cascadia, who represent
northwestern, some of the more unusual sides that are in this international scene, listeners.
Right, our goalkeeper's played in California, Nick, and that California have got a national team in this setup, so that'd be a nice away game, wouldn't it? As have Hawaii.
Stick to haven't.
Haven't in the middle of winter, that'll be more us, won't it? I don't think I've ever been to Fisher where it's not been pouring with rain, so this is a first for me.
I've only ever been here when it's been really, really hot. Every time I think about coming down and it's in the winter, I think this is going to be a harsh venue to stood in the the cold and the wet. There's no cover here at all, listeners.
But yeah, I mean, ideally, what we want is to take this, or the kind of the nucleus of this squad towards something more substantial. Right. Because I sort of feel like by doing what they've done, by turning up every week, by playing for us and committing, they probably deserve a chance.
It's like a giving back almost, isn't it? So something like a thank you almost.
They do deserve the opportunity to play, someone like Jersey. It would be almost the Jersey national team if they go under the name Parishes of Jersey.
Right.
That would be a massive step for us.
Yeah.
Really would be. That would be a huge kind of leap of faith. We've just got to decide when to do that, Nick, really.
Yeah.
We've been joined by Stan Churchill-Mann.
Hello, Stan. Another cog in this machine called Surrey.
Yeah.
I was just saying to Matt, it's a really nice standard of football, actually. I didn't know what to expect when I came down here, but it's some good play out there.
Yeah, you've got a lot of players sort of step 5-ish level, some can play step 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
35 minutes into the game, listeners, there's no goals. Been plenty of chances, plenty of action. Increasingly, I would say, Surrey coming forwards as the game's gone along, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we had to weather a bit of an early storm, didn't we? It's very evenly sort of poised at the moment. I just hope we can kind of keep coming into it. We've gone close, haven't we?
I might have put the curse on. There's a move forward here for the Benfica 12. Been dispossessed by the central defender. He's a substantial looking boy, the number 6 for Surrey.
Yes, Daniel Igwe making his debut today at centre back. Very experienced guy. Alongside
looks it.
Yeah, very much so. Alongside a much more raw centre back in Giovanni War. It's probably 10 years age gap between them, but they both played good football again this season for a good club. We played a team last week with 8 subs, so they could roll them on, roll them off.
Really?
It wasn't as hot as this. But
no.
It's
just still keeps it fresh, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Talking of training, did Jokey speak to you before? Yeah, apparently his trainer had him out training from 7 this morning.
Oh,
that's why he was knackered and.
Oh, right. Oh, fair. Yes.
It's boxing.
Professional boxing.
Yeah. Professional boxing.
Yeah. Coming up to the point now where football's got to go out the window and boxing's got to take over for his fight on the 24th.
Well, it's 20 days' time, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't even know if he'll be able to play next week, really. It's probably too near to the fight.
I'd say combining the two is probably a little bit too much when you're going for a pro fight.
Absolutely. Got to get those shots away, Surrey! Okay, it's all right. Slow it down. Some boys love football so much
they'll
play every day of the week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have Astro boots, will travel. Some of these.
The little group that came to us, the centre half and the little fella number 8.
Yeah.
Their little gang. They once they've come every week. Haven't they?
Yeah.
There's one of them missing today, but on the whole, they've been very good.
And it's pure love of football, then, really, isn't it? To be playing in the heat of a June Sunday afternoon, you know.
Basically. And I think for a lot of them, like non-league 30 years ago was win or lose, have a booze, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But now a lot of these guys, how many drink out of the team on the pitch there today? Very few.
I can't see many look like they're big, big in the bar, but they look they're fitness merchants, aren't they?
There's not many having a fry up and then a few beers after the game. These guys take it very seriously in sort of decent level of non-league football, and we'll see this as a pre-season is the only sort of way to put it, for want of a better term.
As we were just saying, some don't switch off to the game through the summertime, do they?
Absolutely, they'll play through. This will give them a level of fitness to take into pre-season with their clubs, and will get them perhaps ahead of other players who might get signed ahead of them. So it sort of kind of suits some players really well. it is a good level of football, as you can see from the game today. So it's more than just turning up, having a kick about with your mates.
These are two evenly matched sides. I mean, both seem to have the ability to win it or lose it. Still, I mean, we're coming towards half time now.
Yeah, very much so.
But both sides are a decent
Well done,
level.
Nate. Well done,
Always a
Nate.
shirt tug there on the 14.
Nate, really good. Well done,
Free
Jaden.
kick for the Surrey. 43 minutes in, there's a free kick just outside the Benfica penalty. I never thought I'd be saying the word Benfica on a Millwall podcast, listeners. It's
Down at Salter Road.
Salter Road in Rotherhithe, but we'll stay with this.
Have you seen a potential vocal Sammer out there?
I've seen a few better, mate. Some of the Portuguese boys, they got some good control and touch.
That number 10 is electric. Isn't
Yeah.
And as I say, he's outrunning a professional athlete there, which is ludicrous. Boys, do you want to get ready? I might make some changes. So many new players, you end up doing a Bobby Robson and getting their names wrong. I find Nick.
Secrets in the managerial trade here for you listeners.
Or as they used to be called, I think back in the day in pre-season friendlies, a trialist.
H finalist, yeah, A-N other.
Yes. Funny thing for me is managing a game here at Fisher, a place that I quite used to go to, the old ground anyway.
Yeah, that's
when
right.
Millwall
Just
were
over
away.
the road, that's right.
I'm
yeah.
sure you were
yeah.
the same. As a kid, my dad often took me to Fisher Athletic.
Fisher Athletic.
When they were in the Southern League, and they were quite a big noise then, weren't they?
They made the was it the conference at one point? They were attracting decent crowds.
Yeah.
A big FA Cup game I remember once. Was it Blackburn they played or someone for the Football League level, and it attracted a fair number to the old ground. That's gone now.
Absolutely, it's sad to see, but someone I used to work with lives basically overlooking the old pitch, so it sort of still goes on. I was told it was a covenant, isn't there, on the pitch at Fisher?
Something like that.
It's got to be
well,
for
it's
recreation.
got some kind of religious quality to it, isn't it? It's like a churchy type
the hallowed term,
thing.
literally hallowed term.
Yeah, something. It says it has to be used for sports purposes. So it's now just open ground, but there's something like that to it.
Bit managerial talk. Yeah, I think I'm going to change it half time.
This is the kind of content you're listening to the show for, listeners.
Injury time, I make. He was in London for some engagement, I believe.
It's half time, listeners.
You're listening to Achtung Millwall.
So half time, Matt's gone in with the team, dear listeners. This is the kind of action that you get on this show, Achtung Grassroots. 0-0 at the break. As I've said a few times during the course of the game so far, some good play, some good players, interesting level of football, interesting concept. It's actually quite an old-fashioned concept, really, for a team to exist as a representative side that plays only friendly fixtures. It's almost Victorian in its approach in that sense. Interesting to hear that they're trying to maybe change that. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, it's many of the teams that started as Wanderers, Bolton Wanderers, the first winners of the FA Cup, had this same concept of playing at various locations, having no home base. And I suppose that's both a romantic concept, but doesn't really lend itself to establishing a club with any kind of profile. You do need a home base in the game. So anyway, there we are. It's 0-0 at half time. Attractive football. Keep your eyes on International Surrey. Do follow International Surrey. They're on Twitter at INTSUR Football. INTSUR Football. International Surrey. Do give them a follow. It's an interesting concept, and as I say, nice way to spend a Sunday afternoon if you're missing the game. A little bit of Millwall news as it's half time, dear listeners. This is Achtung Grassroots, but we are a Millwall podcast fundamentally. So I'm just looking through the London News Online websites. Tony Craig, over 700 career appearances, league appearances for various clubs over the course of a long and storied career, as the Americans say, has joined Dorking Wanderers, signed a deal with Dorking, playing in the 2023-24 campaign. He's left Crawley Town, joining Dorking, who I believe are a National League side. So his career continues. Millwall through and through. 700 career appearances is a huge achievement. I just want to say well done, Tony, and all the best next season with Dorking in the National League. He's back again, or the story's back again. Kevin Nisbet, the man who nearly signed for us in the January transfer window. Apparently we've expressed an interest in him again. I don't quite understand what's going on with this story, listeners. Obviously the Nisbet deal fell through in January when There was talk of a medical situation with his knee. He's carried on playing. We're still interested. I imagine the price must reflect whatever reality is there for his knee. I'm guessing, I don't know, because otherwise it makes little sense to sign a player with a problem knee. That's what do I know? I'm not a football expert, but clearly, if a deal can be done for the right price, then maybe we are interested, and maybe that's back on the table again. It's going to take some time to play out, says the London News online. So don't go getting too excited over the return potential of Kevin Nisbet. Let's see over the weeks ahead. And also it's it's a very difficult dry season, isn't it, for football news, the early summertime. Former midfielder Liam Trotter is set for a backpacking adventure. This feels more like Facebook than the London News online sports section on Millwall. He's hung up his boots playing for Bromley, I believe. 34, he's going to go backpacking, so good luck to Liam Trotter with his wife Lucy. Going on nice holidays around the world for 12 months actually. That's quite a journey. So yeah, pretty scant news on the Millwall websites at the moment, but I think that's the bulk of it covered there. Not much going on in a nutshell, dear listeners.
You came up here today, did they check your visa going over the border?
He's looking for an interview as well. The media are here, blimey.
I had a few words with a manager down at Croydon. I thought it was only me and him, and I swear to God, it's had 1.5 million hits. It even went to Ireland, and my Irish relatives was ringing me up. Yeah, I did a Surrey Cup game.
You became famous.
Yeah, and the manager they go, I could have sent him on Sunday morning. I thought, it's only me and the geezer. I'll go and read the riot act to him, and I did as a kicking geezer with a camera.
That's the trouble now, isn't it? Everything goes on camera.
They ring me up from Ireland and said, what? What are you talking about? He said, you did a game, you had a go. I said, somebody must have filmed it. I didn't know. Because they all YouTube all do.
Yeah.
These are YouTube.
No, a lot of these teams do that.
They were called The Wall. They won that game. They won in the semi-final with a last second goal.
Yeah.
But as we were coming off, they played Carl Shorten. And I know Carl Shorten well. Carl Shorten bloke come up to us and said, we played against this geezer in the first round and beat him. Right. He's playing for this lot now. Cup tie. Long story short, they get binned. They appeal to the FA at Wembley. Goes in front of the FA. They uphold the binning. They're out.
Right.
Carl Shorten get to the final. Won it on penalty.
So second half is underway, listeners. 0-0. 1-0 to Surrey, listeners. Close range finish. Ball across from the left. Finish nice. Who was the finisher there, mate?
Teo Ajayi.
2
minutes into the Surrey's top scorer.
47.
That's the linesman.
This is linesman as character, football character. 1-0 to Surrey, listeners. Nice finish, nice close range finish.
Number 7 had the 2 bob bits on the way to the game, but he's playing really well.
This is a level of detail you weren't expecting, listeners.
You don't get this at the Den, do you?
You probably do, you don't hear about it.
You don't hear about it, yeah.
Behind the closed door of football.
So yeah, our guys, I say to every new player, this is a concept, you've got to buy into it.
Yeah.
We've got to buy into the fact that we're ambitious, we want to go somewhere.
Yep.
We want to travel.
Yep.
And
it's going to be out of the ordinary.
It's going to be out of the ordinary. This isn't just a simple turn up and play.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to accept that sometimes we're going to play teams, it's a bit easy. Sometimes we're going to play teams that can be very hard, like Matta Bailey Land were.
Because you put, how many have passed Bangladesh? Was it 9?
9-0 last week. And the opposite of this kind of game.
Well, I was talking to the linesman at half time during the first half.
Yeah.
He said it could have been more against Bangladesh because obviously they're players that are not at this level, but it's more about the playing than the result for them, I guess.
Absolutely, I think that was the thing. And the way these things work, it just so happened that Bangladesh manager is also a manager of my local Tandoori. And one evening, talking about football in there, he told me he's got a team that tours Bangladesh with expats, British-based Bengalis, who play in front of 5,000-10,000 crowds out there. So I said, yeah, we'll play you. We need to expand our horizons. You're in a league, you get given 23 other teams to play.
Yeah.
With this, we have to go looking for teams.
And you could go anywhere, I
could
suppose,
go
conceivably, or get anyone, couldn't you?
Absolutely. This is the thing. So we found that in London there's so many diaspora teams.
Yeah.
The Japanese were brilliant when we played them the other week. They played lovely football, but in the end we had a bit too much for them. But yeah, I mean we are kind of looking to expand our circle constantly, Nick, really, with the opposition, the calibre of the opposition and everything else.
We hope someone listens to one of these shows and gets to hear about it, because it'd be nice to see it progress.
I mean, effectively, we can play anyone who's not in UEFA or FIFA. So, Guernsey, Jersey, Isle of Man, any team like that would be on our horizon. But that would be a massive test. It'd be another step up or two from today. So, we've got to see when are the players ready to do that. And we hope that it won't be too long, because we sort of feel like there are a couple of players in their 30s we'd like to give that a chance to before they get too old to sort of run
it
around.
becomes a thing of the past. Yeah. Just talking to Matt about football cliches, I've picked up on a few you've come out with so far, Matt. But I suppose you know, in a managerial role, you've got to say something, haven't you? And it becomes a limited range of things you can say. You're not going to come out with anything too groundbreaking. I mean, no disrespect to you, it's intelligent bloke, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. This is the thing, you find yourself saying things you probably said, what are you shouting that for, to your own manager of your team you support. And there are certain phrases which are true to form though, and you know the players recognise that sometimes you just have to be short and sweet and in and out. It's like the half-time team talks. Unless something's drastically wrong, I always think at half-time you just want to be in and out really quickly.
Sorry, man.
Hello, mate. So, a player of ours has just turned up.
Nice to meet you. One of the players' listeners went to Dorking, because that's another venue that Surrey play out of. When this is obviously in Fisher in Rotherhithe, but anyway, he's just arrived. A good half an hour's worth of football yet to go, Matt, I suppose.
Yeah,
will you put him on at some point?
Yes, I think he'll come on in injury time. No, he's come. He travelled a long way, to be fair to him.
That's what I was just thinking.
He deserves a chance. Yeah.
Benfica just hit the post, listeners, but deemed offside, Matt, so wouldn't have counted.
Riding our luck a little bit there.
It's a follow-up that was offside.
The follow-up, the original shot was
If it gone
fine.
in, it would have counted.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
They're pressing forwards last few minutes, huh? To be fair, Matt, all the guys that, you know, just listening to them on the pitch, with moments of conversation when you're talking to them on the side, all seem like really decent blokes. I've not seen anyone out there I'd say, ooh, don't like the look of him, you know.
I always say the same thing, whoever's in that dressing room before kick-off, attitude, commitment, discipline. When we first took over, Nick, it needed a lot of work, you know, and there were perhaps players who were just turning up to make themselves look good and things like that in some cases, and we've had to turn it all around. I'd rather have a team that plays for each other, a team that buys into it, than a team that wins 10-0 every week. And I've told them that, and I've decided to build it from kind of that ethos, really. I don't want guys who are coming just to man up, making themselves look good. No, you know, you want guys who are going to go, I enjoy playing there. I want a dressing room of guys that I like as well. Well,
I was just going to make that point, because you listening to you speaking, and when we spoke before at the cup final, you get a lot out of this, mate. You get a lot of payback from it.
Yeah, coached a couple of league teams, managed a few bits. Yes, please, Steve. So, sorry, Nick, just
right. No.
taking Eamon off. He was a bit unwell earlier. As was hinted at. Detail not needed.
We'll delete that.
But yeah, no, it's very rewarding when you've got kind of the guys you want in the side, Nick, and a squad that you can look at and go, yeah, I trust you to go out and kind of implement what we want to do.
Yeah.
Play the right way, behave the right way. But the actual joy of it, after a week chasing sponsors and various things, is being here on a match day. And, you know, watching guys that you kind of like and you trust going out, and hoping to put into practice the sort of football you want to see.
You've put a lot of work into it, by the sounds of it. You put a lot of time and effort into this.
Eddie, Stan and I took it over sort of in the last few months, and now we're doing it off the pitch as well as on the pitch.
Right.
So it definitely takes a bit more time, but worth it to be playing. Just to be playing in itself is a miracle in some ways, because we shouldn't really be here. You know, okay, heads up. We shouldn't really be playing. There's no sort of room for us. There's no natural place for us in the pyramid.
No, that's right.
But you look out there and you see what a good game this is and what a good bunch of lads they are. But these aren't just 11 guys putting on a shirt. These are good footballers as well.
Well, I'll say again, we said at the start of the game, as I came in.
Well done, Jav, well done, Jav.
Say it again, listeners, this is impressive level of football. You know, I didn't know what to expect when I came out. I came out, to be honest, because Matt invited me. Matt's a mate, so here I am. But I didn't know what to expect football-wise. You know, I would have basically watched anything. But this is not anything. This is a good, decent standard. Chance here for Benfica. Goalkeeper's done quite nicely. He's stopped everything that's come his way so far, Matt.
Yeah, he's had a bit more to do second half.
Yeah, he has.
Jordan Brown is his name. He's been very good. He's been in America for 7 years, played in teams in California, in Texas. He's played, I think it was third division pro football over there. So
Right.
we're hoping he'll be around for our game next week as well, and having a good look at him today. He's been very solid so far, and again, hope we don't jinx that. Go on, Nathan. Yes! Well
2-0.
done, mate.
2-0 to
Well
Surrey, listeners. Nice finish.
Nice.
Shot at the edge of the penalty area, buried. Really, 20 minutes to go, so it's at 70 minutes. Matt's gone off to do some football managerial work. 2-0 Surrey. Talking about next week's fixture, which is in Whiteleaf. You're playing the Alexandrian Knights, which is not Alexandria in Egypt, the ancient centre of the Egyptian civilization. It's not that one, listeners. I think it sounds more like Alexandria Palace, to be honest.
Well, yeah, apparently they play at Alexandra Park by the Palace. There came a bit of a mix-up there, Nick, because they were listed as Alexandria Knights, and we thought that might be an interesting game against an Egyptian side. And you never know, Mo Salah might turn up to watch, and of course they're nothing to do with Egypt at all, from what I can gather. So, but we're looking forward to hosting them at Whiteleaf, which is another really nice ground next week.
So if you're in the area, Whiteleaf, Croydon, South, Point South, Bromley suburbs, give it a go, it's nice. Pop round and say hello to Matt. 3-0 now, Surrey, nice finish, listeners. I couldn't get the recorder on fast enough, as of the podcasters world. But nice finish inside the box from about the penalty spot. Ball in from the right, slotted home. 3-0 to Surrey, 72 minutes. That was Fernandez that scored.
Fernandez scored yesterday, Fernandez scored today. Hopefully today's one will be happier.
Matt is dining out on Bruno Fernandez's brother playing for his side.
Very much so. We're thinking of the headlines here, Nick, aren't we? You know? But he's such a lovely, unassuming bloke, Ricardo, that we try not to mention it too much. However,
as you've got the media in today.
yeah, I'm up in the press box.
Achtung,
here with
Millwall's
Nick.
in town.
That's right. That's right. It's been lovely to see a few people down here today. I'm sure some of whom have Millwall loyalties as well, Nick. You know.
I hope so. I mean, we gave it a few boosts on social media. I mean, when I came to Fisher at the start of the season, a lot of local people in for that. And if you're doing nothing on a Sunday afternoon, it's just over the road, why not? But there seems to be a few in the stand.
So brilliant. Well done, team. Well done. I honestly don't know what to think. It's a long way off. I don't know what to think for us for next season. I keep changing my mind. I don't know about you, Nick. Sometimes I think we'll be brilliant next season. Other times I think...
well, the talk on the line been the strength of the division, but then for Millwall, every season's tough, isn't it?
Tough.
You're looking at the likes of Leeds, Leicester, Southampton, I suppose Sheffield Wednesday to some extent coming up, Ipswich. And yeah, it's a tough division, but when's it been an easy division from Millwall perspective, mate? If there's been an easy one, listeners, let me know when it was. Well, I think the side would be the same collection of homegrown, loan players. Maybe some of the youth come through. Youth that did very well to win their Premier League section.
We'd love to see SA get a good shot at it next season, wouldn't we? You know.
And some of the central defenders. I mean, Mitchell's coming back from Scotland. We don't know how good he is. I thought Chin Okoli the other night in the under-21s looked very, very good. And their left back, who's Adam Malarkey. So we've got some players coming through that you could see could make an impact, but it's going to be who can we loan, who can we find, and then it'd be the usual sequences of can't find a goal, can't get by a win, and then we're going on like unbeaten run, aren't we?
Very much so. Yeah, I certainly fear for us every time we get promoted to the Championship. It's going to be such a good standard. Actually, we compete really well in the Championship, don't we? Touch wood.
I think we do. We've only had one season where we finished 18th recently, didn't we? But otherwise, no, we generally do well enough.
There's so much to be said, Nick, for having a settled team who all buy into what Millwall's about, who buy into what Millwall are doing, who buy into the whole mentality. That some of these other clubs, where they're paying a lot more money, perhaps more mercenary players, lovely stuff.
Nice touch, sir.
He can come next week. It's such a special kind of thing. If you buy into it and get the right guys, I think you kind of do well. You get enough points, and it's just how many points can we end up with? A bit like this year.
Well, we're never going to dominate the league, are we? But we will scrap and we will finish. I don't see that we're going to be any lower than halfway, personally. Matt's just brought in the chap who went to Dorking rather than to Rotherhithe earlier on. He was at Dorking 120. This kicked off at 1:30 here in Rotherhithe. But he's made it up. He's got a bit of a game. He's got about 10-12 minutes left in this thing. It's 3-0 at the moment. Deservedly so, I think, to Surrey as we approach the final knockings at Harvard. Justice would probably say that Benfica would expect to get a goal at least, but I don't think they've done enough to win out today, certainly not from 3 behind anyway. We've got a free kick here, just about halfway inside the Surrey half, so we'll follow this. Here we go. It's on target, it's gone wide right. There is the consolation goal I was just talking about, listeners. 10 minutes to go. Loose ball midfield, picked up by the 10 for Benfica, slotted home, bottom left side corner of the goal. Nice finish, in all honesty. 3-1, Surrey. Oh, another goal there for Benfica. They're going to make a game of it in the last few minutes. That was a straight ball down, long ball. Defenders now, I think, tiring, and the 10 went through, slotted it home in the right side corner. So 3-2 now. We've got a game on our hands, listeners, after a long period of seeming to drift out for 3-0. But suddenly it's 3-2. 8 minutes left in the game. Ticking down towards the last few seconds of the game, listeners. I'll just check my clock. Gone past the 45-minute mark now, so it's never much added time the referee wants to put on. 3-2 still to Surrey. It's been run very, very close. Benfica really come into it in these past few minutes. Looked a lot more direct in truth. The old ploys of the game now. Matt's making a substitute to use up some time. He's talking about running the clock down. Game management, dear listeners. It's been a very warm afternoon. Fair play to both sides for the amount of effort they put into this game. It's been played in a friendly spirit, but it's not a friendly game, if you know what I mean. It's competitive, I would say. It's a dribbling shot from distance by Surrey. Some good skills on offer. Enjoyable afternoon. Like we said earlier on, if you're in the Whiteleaf area. So next fixture, Whiteleaf. This is Surrey versus Alexandra Knights. That's going to be played in Whiteleaf. That's a 3:30 kick-off next Saturday, the 10th of June. Saturday, the 10th of June, dear listeners. If you're in the area, give it a go. Well worth it. Entertaining football. Nice to be out on the Sunday afternoon. Can't wait for the Millwall season, listeners. It's whetted my appetite again for it. There's the final whistle. It finishes International Surrey 3. Sporting Benfica London 2. Tight finish in the end. It ran it close, but I think a deserved win for Surrey. Well played to both sides.
You're listening to Achtung, Millwall.
Tight run thing, but you got there in the end, Matt. Well done, mate. Well done to your boys. I thought they deserved the win, but they did run it a little bit close at the end there, going 3-2. Which I didn't see coming at 80 minutes, I've got to say.
It's a bit nervy, the ending there, definitely, and had to sort of use the subs to run the clock down.
Yeah.
We let them back into it.
Masterfully done. Gary Rowett will be paying attention to how you did that.
Do you think roll on, roll off will catch on in the championship? Oh, Jokey.
Jokey, yeah.
This is Nick.
Hello, Jokey.
Tell me if I introduce you or
I'm
not.
going to introduce you, Jokey. I'm doing a podcast,
Yeah.
I understand you're fighting
Yeah.
very, very soon. Where's the venue, Jokey, and what's the fight?
York Hall, Bethnal Green. It will be my fourth professional fight.
Right.
Super bantamweight.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What date is the event?
24th of June, Saturday.
24th of June.
Yeah.
And do you know the name of the fighter you're up against? Or would that be not closed yet?
Nabil, I think it's Nabil Ahmed. I think
Right.
that's his name. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to be following your career, mate. So
Yeah,
I'm going to put
okay.
this on social media
Yeah.
and on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I want to wish you luck.
Okay, wicked.
Yeah, that's fine,
Okay,
mate.
thank
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too, man.
Look after yourself.
Okay,
Good
thank
game.
you.
Well done
Thanks,
today.
thanks.